Hi, YouTube family. It's Daughter of the Most High. Happy Friday night, late Friday night, early Saturday morning. You know, my days are so different than everybody else's because I'm such a night owl. But anyway, so to me, it's Friday night. To you, it's probably Saturday morning, and that's okay. So, had a couple things I want to share with you tonight. And I read an article somebody posted on Facebook. And the headline says, this is from the Times, and it says, breastfeeding is now chest feeding. Brighton's trans-friendly midwives are told. And this is in England, Brighton. Midwives have been told to say chest feeding instead of breastfeeding, and to replace the term mother with mother or birthing parent as part of moves to be more trans-friendly. Brighton and Sussex University hospitals are the first in the country to formally implement a gender-inclusive language policy for its maternity services department, which will now be known as perinatal services. Staff have been instructed that breast milk should be replaced with the phrases human milk, breast/chest milk, or milk from feeding mother or parent. Other changes include replacing the use of woman with woman or person, father with parent, co-parent, or second biological parent, depending on the circumstances. The article continues on, but you have to subscribe to their page and in the Times, and I didn't do that, so that's where it ends for me. But Brighton, home of the popular gay pride parade, or not parade, march, has one of the country's biggest trans communities. So I read that today and I just thought, it is thing after thing after thing lately. It is just thing after thing. And even though things are changing very quickly, the fact is that as these changes occur, and there is a lot of changes going on, do you also notice that God has given us time to prepare, like to grasp what's been going on, and to realize that we need to make some changes? I jumped when my phone, my phone did that. That God has given us time to prepare. Like He's giving us a time to digest this and make adjustments. And the fact is we are so in the end times, but most of us are so used to our lifestyle, and that He is actually giving us time to make these changes, to make the changes we need to make. Well, what are the changes we need to make? Well, as I shared with you, I have been checking into like off-grid living, van life, car life, that sort of thing, and I'm loving it. I watch like a video like almost every single day, sometimes two, and my phone is blinking at me, so I don't know if it's going to cut off, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to keep going. And so I'm having a lot of fun looking at that, and there are so many channels of so many people that are living either out of a van or their car. And of course, I also check into off-grid living, and it's fun. And I really haven't even picked up a pen and started taking notes or anything like that, but I'm going to have to, because I think things are moving in that direction, and so I want to be prepared for that. So I encourage you to check it out, because if we do choose to like live in a van or even a car, once we can't buy or sell or even buy gas or sell our home or do anything, that's why I'm hoping we can sell our homes before that happens and get the money out of it, and then get the van, and then we could, maybe travel around, and then once they won't let us buy gas anymore, we could just park the vehicle and live off grid. So there's that option too. That's what I've been thinking of. So I encourage you to check it out on YouTube. It's actually kind of fun. And I, of course, look at all the women's channels. I look at some of the men's too, but a lot of the women's channels, just to see how they set up their car, their van, if they have pets, that whole thing. So it's kind of fun. I'm enjoying it. Um, so my encouragement to you at this time is to use this time to prepare. Now, I feel like God has been gracious within this, crazy season that we've been in, and it's certainly continuing, but He's also being merciful. And I feel like His hand is like holding things back a little bit. And so I feel like we're getting time to prepare. And part of our preparation is, like I was just talking about, maybe choosing a new way to live. But it's also, you know, spending more time with God and letting our roots in God and in the Holy Spirit and in His Word really take deeper root in our lives. We're going to have to know God on a deeper level. And if you don't already, and you don't even have supernatural things in your life, you're going to want to prepare for that now. You want to hear from God. You want to believe for healing. You want to function in the gifts like a word of wisdom or a word of knowledge. Do you operate in that? Because that's important to operate in. If I lose something, I always, first, like just momentarily, I'll just kind of like go, oh, because I hate when I lose things. And then I just tell myself, you know what? God will show you where it is. Just pray about it. Go about your business for a little bit. God will show you where it is. And it doesn't mean I don't look anywhere, because I do. But I'm not like in a flurry, like, flinging everything out of every drawer. People do that. I don't do that. And I just wait for God to show me in my spirit where it is. Well, if He doesn't show me anything, I may have just lost that item and I'm not going to get it back. And then I know that I have to either buy a new one or, replace it. So I have been functioning in that for years. I have had God show me like where in my house things are. And so I function in that. When I was working at the Faith-Based Treatment Center, I would get occasionally a word of knowledge when I was praying for a client. When the client was in my office, I would get a word for them. Now, I haven't functioned in that for a long time, but I used to spend a lot of time in prayer, laying hands on my clients when I worked at the Faith-Based Treatment Center. And so word of knowledge, word of wisdom, things like that. So it's really cool to operate in that. I miss it. I miss having that be part of my life. So then the other day, I want to share that I went out to my car to get something, and I did not realize that there was a patch of ice, probably about maybe 2.5 feet across, almost like a circle of ice. But this was at night. I come home at midnight, and I ran out to my car at like 1 or 1:30 a.m. And I know that's probably weird to you, but I do this kind of stuff all the time. I left something in my car, I go get it. Well, so I ran out to my car and I slipped on the ice and I fell down hard. And I went like just literally my feet went out from under me and I slammed down on my butt so hard. Now, I didn't hurt my tailbone. I didn't even get a bruise on my butt cheek. But I will tell you that I felt my torso, literally, because I just fell so hard. I just slammed down that I felt my abdominal, like everything that's in my abdomen just clunk upward. And it raised up really quickly and like almost like a slap on the inside of my body. It was so weird. And I have a tenderness in my, on my sternum, my breastbone, that kind of thing. And I don't have insurance. I didn't take insurance at this job because I just got too behind financially. So I don't have insurance. It's been 1.5 years. And I've done that before too, because I only have so much money and I generally am like never sick and never have medical issues. So I just laid hands on myself and I just prayed for healing, and I just said, God, whatever in there that God slammed or slapped. I just command it to be healed in Jesus' name. And I've prayed over myself a few times since that happened. It happened like 9 days ago. It was a week ago yesterday, Thursday. So, and it's still tender. I mean, you know how your ribs go up and then you push on it a little bit? It's still tender there. That's how hard I fell. So I'm glad I didn't damage my tailbone. I am, because I know that's very, very painful for people. Didn't do that, but I did hit this, and so yeah, it's been pretty tender. But God's healing me, and so that's another thing that you want to function in. So there's gifting that we can function in. We get so used to our everyday life and our physical world, but understand that we can function in the gifts of God. And so I'm just encouraging you to become familiar with them now. Now, you can grow in the future. You know, you can grow, but it's important to grow now because we know these things are coming. It's no surprise. These things are coming, and you want to get ready now, you know? So I'm just sharing some of the things that like I walk in and have been part of my life that you want to be also to be a part of your life too. So another thing I want to share with you is that the Lord has been showing me. Now, the Lord shows me numbers, and I know that freaks some people out, but it is not numerology. Did I say that right? The Lord has been showing me the number 202 so many times lately. And 202 in the Greek means to listen. Apparently an extensive of 191, a hearer, merely hearer. And then in the Hebrew, which I like that, to listen. Then in the Hebrew, let's go there. Own one probably from the same as 205 in the sense of effort, but successful. Ability, power, figuratively, wealth, force, goods, might, strength, and substance. I can't tell you how many times God has shown me 202 on the clock lately. It's just like, okay, God, I got to look that up because you keep showing it to me. And see, God used to show me numbers. He's been showing me 1111 and 111 a lot lately too. And that generally means that he's bringing you up, or a person up, another spiritual level. And I'm like, bring it on, God, because I am all about it. So I'm excited about that. And I just wanted to share that sometimes God speaks through the environment in those ways. Now, I know some people, like God will speak to them through like other like images or symbols or things like that. But God uses numbers for me a lot. I mean, I see triples all the time. 2s, 3s, 4s, 8s, 9s. I see 4 9s sometimes. That's just how God speaks to me. And when I see triples or triple letters, like a license plate will have MMM on it, 3 M's. God is just, I interpret that as like fruition, like God is bringing something into fruition when they're all 3, the same letters or same numbers. So it's really interesting. And that's just how God works with me and has for a long time. A lot of times I don't even share that because people they misinterpret that. And so it kind of ruins that for you when God actually works with you in this way. God shows me 515, 313. 515 is counted worthy. Love that. 313 is actually on Jeremiah. Is it 313 or 313? I think it's 313 where that, he's I just looked it up. 313, Jeremiah. The Lord appeared to me, Israel, from ages past, saying, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness, I have drawn you, and continued my faithfulness to you. Oh, yes, he has. Yes, he has. So I see 313 a lot. I see that one too. So that's just how God works with me. So my encouragement to you is to just start functioning in the things that, the ways that God works, not just the ways we work or we're used to, verbal communication or things like that, but to actually move into the way God speaks through his spirit and through the environment or an impression on our spirit. Or if you've never even heard God speak, God can speak in your natural ears from outside. God can speak from in here. I've heard it both ways. Start getting to know, start drawing near to God and then functioning in these things so that when all our Bibles are taken, we're off grid, we have nothing anymore. We got to have what we have on the inside. They're not going to be able to take that. So it's prep time. And so we want to prepare by, some external things, some physical things, things like that. Like if you have cavities and teeth that are needing attention, do it now before they pull not pull our teeth, but I'm saying pull our services and take that from us. So if you've got like cavities or I need a crown or whatever that is, do it now before they're going to, take everything from us. And so that we can be ready. God is giving us time to get ready. Do you feel that like I do? It's like heads up, guys, we're moving in this direction. And we need to prepare for that. So prepare spiritually, so prepare physically, prepare emotionally. He's giving us time to adjust and digest the times and prepare. And so I'm appreciating that. And so I just want to encourage you to do the same. So anyway, I got about a minute left. I wanted to read one more verse just because a lot of people are really challenged right now. And this is James chapter 1, verse 2. And I'm going to tell you, this has never been a favorite, but it's been a lot of my life. Consider it nothing but joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you fall into various trials. And I used to think, are you kidding, God? I mean, seriously, I've had enough trials in my life. I barely had any normal days until the last couple of years. And consider it nothing but joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you fall into various trials. Be assured that the testing of your faith through experience produces endurance, leading to spiritual maturity and inner peace. Inner peace comes from knowing that you're anchored in God. You're not a feather in the wind. You're anchored in God. And let endurance have its perfect result and do a thorough work so that you may be perfect and completely developed in your faith, lacking nothing. And then the verse 5 says, if any of you lacks wisdom, this is again the Amplified, to guide him through a decision or circumstance, he is to ask of our benevolent God, who gives to everyone generously and without rebuke or blame, and it will be given to him. That's a promise. But he must ask for wisdom and faith without doubting God's willingness to help. For the one who doubts is like a billowing surge of the sea that is blown about and tossed by the wind. We don't want to be a feather in the wind. We want to be like the oak tree, anchored, deep roots, oak tree. Okay? So I think I don't know that I've graduated to considering it all joy or consider it nothing but joy, but I'm getting better. And so I just encourage you to read this and maybe memorize this so that we're going to go through some stuff, but God's with us and we have each other. So bless you, family.